Hi guys, welcome back to Elite Chess. This is our second video on the World Champs. This is all about Emanuel Lasker. We're going to look at 3 of his games versus Capablanca, 1 versus Alekhine, and 1 versus Taras. You can find an article on him in our Mighty Networks link. Find it in the description. And come over and join our community at Mighty Networks. Okay, so let's get this started. E4, E5. Emanuel is playing black. Taras is playing white. And we have a Berlin. Okay, so essentially all of this is just standard. It's just developing moves, protecting pieces, exchanging when necessary. Um, okay, castle, and so castling for both. Everything was standard. Everything was simple. Nothing really to see there. Boring, equal chess. The only thing that's left is to connect the rooks. White can play the bishop, and black can play the queen if he likes. But yeah, that's essentially what's left is to connect the rooks, and then castling, developing would be considered complete. All right, now g5, h6. Now, a lot of beginners would take the knight here. My general rule in the beginning, just to teach the kids not to take this knight, is take the knight when the only recapture is going to be a pawn, right? Because then the pawn structure is ruined, the king is going to be open. And this also helps you to learn the move bishop h4. Now this is an important move because GMs usually, or strong players, after you kick the bishop, they just move backwards to keep the tension. And by teaching my students to only take this knight if only the pawn can recapture, it gets you into this habit, right? It's not applicable to every situation, but it's a move you have to learn to have muscle memory for it. It's the same with rook e1 or rook e8, which is just, it's a good move that just needs to happen. So you learn it by doing it a lot. And speaking of rook e8, rook a d1. Okay, both rooks are centralized for white. That's awesome. Knight e7, attacking the unprotected bishop. Bishop takes, rook takes. Now, why rook takes and not queen takes? If you take with the queen, that's a huge mistake because now all of a sudden you lose a rook. Okay, so always be aware of tactics. Tactics can get you very far in chess. All right, so you have to take with the rook. Okay, now we have queen c3, rook e5, knight d4, rook c5 attacking the queen. The queen runs away. This is a unprotected pawn, and now we protect it by blocking the position. f4, white is gaining space. Queen f6, we're attacking the unprotected pawn. Queen f3, it's protected, and now rook e8. c3, a5. Okay, c3 was probably to prepare b4, and a5 just stops the idea of b4. Okay, so instead of b4, he now plays b3. We play a4, he plays b4 attacking the rook, rook c4. There isn't really, there's no good space for the rook. The rook can't go here, 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 and can't go here. So this is a forced move. So this rook is going to be out of play for a while. g3, protecting this pawn some more, getting this nice pawn structure over here. Rook d8. The only reason I can think of rook d8 is to push this pawn. Rook e3, I assume to protect this twice and maybe looking to double rooks. We have c5 attacking the knight, and now the knight runs away. I think I would play b takes c5, but yeah, he runs away with the knight. C takes b, and now we have rook takes d6. It's a good move, I'm sure. I think I would have just taken the pawn, if I'm honest. Takes, takes. Oh, not takes. Takes and now a fork. This is scary. Do you save the queen and lose the rook? Do you save the rook and lose the queen? Um, in general, if you want to fork like this, but you don't want to get forked like this. So my advice is always run away with the queen. Lose the rook, keep your queen, right? And maybe you can make a plan. But in this position, there's a way to escape with both of your pieces, but it will cost you a piece, right? So there's a sacrifice here that you can save both that the queen and the rook, and you can get into a better position, right? Now, I don't think I would have found this even if you gave me 20 minutes, because I would just gut reaction, run away. Um, but yeah, given long enough time, I hope all of us would be able to find this. But yeah, the correct move here is rook takes f4, and this saves this queen and this rook. How does it do that? Well, this queen is under attack, right? So what's going to happen if you take with the queen? If you take with the queen, all of a sudden you're going to run into rook d1. If the king decides to run away, for instance, here, now you can save your queen. Let's say, for instance, I don't know, queen e7. Okay. And this rook is going to be a nuisance on the back rank, right? So instead of dealing with the nuisance on the back rank, he decided to take with the pawn. Okay. So you can still play rook d1, but now the queen is protecting it, right? So the difference is the queen is off of the line, okay? But now we can play queen g6 check. The king has to move away, and now all of a sudden we have this back rank check. The queen is now out of danger. King g2, rook d2. Both pieces are safe. The king is in an uncomfortable position, and black has a better position. All right, rook e2 blocks. Okay, queen takes a2. The reason is not only do you win a pawn, but you have this double attack now. Whereas if you just took, you would have taken back and you wouldn't have been able to get this pawn. I hope that makes sense. Rook takes d2, queen takes d2 with check, queen g3, and now we have a3. And it is physically impossible to stop this, okay? If you would take this immediately, all right, what's going to happen now is this. Okay, so I just want to keep you guys aware that the black pawns are moving down. Okay, so you can't take this. This is just awesome. Okay, e6. Now, we can take this immediately. All right, just with the pawn and everything would be good. But Lasker decided he didn't want to break his pawn structure here. So what he did is he played check. And then after the king moved away, he took the pawn with the queen. Now he keeps this strong pawn structure over here. f5 blocking, queen c4 check, knight d4 blocking, and now a2, and that's going to become a queen very, very soon. Queen d1 preventing queen a1, pawn a1 to queen, knight d5, a4 takes attacking the queen, queen gives check, king runs away, and now after the king moves to h5, and now black has a queen, and apparently checkmate in 5. Let's see how we can play this out. So queen e5, queen e5. Now we have queen g1. I'm just doing the computer moves. Queen g3 blocking. Queen on g takes d4. Queen d1 check. Oh, h3. Sorry, I'm ahead of myself. Queen d1 check. Queen g4. Queen on c takes g4. H takes g4. And now a pretty savage checkmate. Queen h1. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, the game didn't play out this way, but that is awesome. I hope you guys rewatch that because that was Pretty great. Okay, let's go on to our next game. We have Emanuel Lasker playing the white pieces versus Alexander Alekine. Now, Alexander Alekine was the fourth world chess champion. He took the title away from Jose Raul Capablanca, and he had some crazy chess games. A lot of his chess games were just the weirdest positions you've ever seen. When we talk about, well, we show some games in like 2 or 3 weeks for Alekine. I'm going to go out of my way just to find one or two of his weirdest positions because um, I can't even begin to explain how complex some of his positions were, and then he calculated it correctly, which always just blows my mind. So let's check out this game where Lasker beat Alekine, and this is of course before Alekine became world champion. Probably, I'm not sure about the year this game was played. So we have d4, d5, c4, and now e5. Um, yeah, most people don't play e5 anymore. This gambit, I think, is considered bad. But yeah, okay. E6, of course, would have been better. Knight f6 would have been better. Maybe c6, But yeah, e5 is not something you see a lot. So we have d takes e5, d4, which is main line. Knight f3, knight c6 protecting the pawn, and now we have a3, and now knight g7, knight ge7 is considered, I think, mainline here, but Alekine played bishop g4, which I really don't get because of this move. Knight bd2 protecting the knight, so if you do decide to trade, then this knight is going to be in a good position to attack kingside. And now Alekine plays queen e7. Um, I have no idea why. I think he wants to just castle queenside and then have the rook across from the queen. I can't really think about anything else. h3 takes. Okay, now the knight is in a very good position. Now we have queenside castles. Now we have queen d3, and now we have h6. Um, I wonder, since this is protected now, I wonder if knight takes e5, knight takes e5, queen takes e5 looks good, right? Okay, he decides to play h6. Maybe he's planning to do a pawn storm at some point. It's very unsure with Alekine. You never know what he's going to do, to be honest. Okay, g3, g6, bishop g2, now bishop g7. I think he could have still taken this, but he probably was just preparing extra protection so he can do that. Okay, we have kingside castles. Now we have knight e5. The whole point of this. Okay, cool. Knight takes. Now he wanted to do bishop takes instead of queen takes. Okay, all of that preparation. But then again, I can see the computer line, so I'm like, oh, this is what you should have done. But okay, so bishop takes. Okay, b4. Okay, gaining a lot of space on the queen side. Usually when you castle queen side as black or black castles queen side, you're gonna see this pawn storm um, coming, and it's usually scary if you're playing black. F5, okay, getting space on the queen side, starting his own pawn storm. C5, queen e6. Okay. Um, I don't want to guess why queen e6, but I think just you can play against this color complex maybe. Or maybe you wanted to get his knight here and then the rook. I'm not sure. C6. Um, yeah, I think I would have played one of my pawns here just to, um, after b4 then just to have this. Okay. Okay, so this. 97. Okay, cool. That's why I moved the queen out of the way. It takes. My bad. Okay, so bishop b2, rook d6, rook ac1, rook hd8, rook c2, f4, g takes f4, bishop takes f4, rook d1. Um, yeah, just I wonder if he wants to make an Alakhan's gun. Let's see what happens. Knight f5, bishop c1 attacking the bishop. Okay, doesn't takes. Um, okay, so there's this fork here. Um, why wouldn't you play this? Oh, because after takes probably this is bad. Um, yeah, this is. I wonder what would have been a better move. I mean, bishop c1. The computer says queen c4, threatening this. So then after the trade, what do you do? Oh, then it's probably safe to take like that. I don't know. Okay, anyway, rook bishop c1. You have this fork, run away, queen f6, like this move, right? I'm pretty sure most people would just take the rook, right? So that you're a rook up. That's what I expect most people to do. Okay, so queen f6, queen e4, knight takes d1 finally. Bishop takes f4, and now he plays knight c3. He plays knight c3. Bishop takes the bishop takes the rook. Queen takes queen e5, and now he protects his queen. Queen e7. This is considered a blunder. I'm not even going to guess why. Queen d6, rook e5, d3. E takes d3, queen takes d3, rook e3, queen d1 check, king runs away, knight b5, rook e6, knight takes a3, rook f6, and yeah, black resigns in this position. Um, yeah, I mean, probably you can just yeah, you're gonna come down. How do you really stop this? You can play check, but then even after this trades, it's still going to be tricky. Yeah, I mean, what can you say about the game? I think the computer says Alakine made a bunch of mistakes. Um, but I mean, these guys are playing a chess at such a high level that I think only a computer will be able to see the mistakes, right? But yeah, I'm sure all of the super GMs today wouldn't even have thought of playing like knight c3, for instance, right? Because they would have the experience they have is way more technical than Alakan would have had, right? Or Lasker would have had, because computers change the way chess is played and chess is fought about and chess is trained. And yeah, like knight c3, I doubt Magnus would ever have made that move. He would have probably made the computer move, which is knight f2. But that's insane. Yeah, I just think a lot of the moves that Alakan made, I can't understand them. Even at my not so strong chess level, I don't understand the moves. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Lasker won this because of this is just dominating. This is so good. This is so good. This is such a nice position for white. But yeah, I mean, Alakine has very interesting games. This wasn't one of them. This is just one I quickly found. Um, but yeah, okay. Let me go to the next guy. Okay, so let's get into this Capablanca versus Lasker game. Okay, so Capablanca was known to be very good at end games and a very, very solid player. And yeah, Lasker was super solid. I mean, he remained world chess champion for 27 years. I don't think you just do that by, not being solid. So I think this is one of the more boring games, but it's very, very instructional. Um, Basically, this game should teach you how to just defend all of your pieces and make little incremental betterments in your position. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so this is a Navarra Lopez, but this time instead of the Berlin, we have the Morpheus defense. And now the main line is to go back, but we have an exchange variation. Okay, this is considered very equal. Okay, queens are already off the board at move 7. You can do the same in a Berlin. Okay, so bishop d6, knight c3, knight e7, castles, castles, f4, rook e8, knight b3, which is an interesting move. You usually see this set up in a Sicilian. f6, f5, b6, bishop f4 developing, bishop b7. All right, keep an eye on this bishop. This bishop is going to be stuck the entire game. All right, just remember this bishop. Let me even make it in blue. Keep an eye on that bishop. Okay, bishop takes d6, c takes d6. Okay, so now the pawns are undoubled. Okay, usually the rulers don't help your opponent to undouble, but Lasker thought it would be good to get rid of the bishop that was there. Knight d4, rook a d8. All right, so attacking the rook. Rook protects itself. Rook a d1, centralizing the rook. Knight c8, attacking the knight. Rook f2, looking to double on the d file, or maybe double on the f file. b5. Okay, so b5, rook of d2, doubling. Rook de7, doubling. b4. Okay, so b4 basically just stops a5 for now. King f7. All right, this is an instructional move, right? So this is instructional um, by planning to centralize the king, getting ready for an endgame. Okay, it wasn't necessary to do this. You could have played h5 immediately, h6 immediately, but Capablanca was good at analyzing positions, like super good at analyzing positions. And if you fought to move the king, that would have been one of the best moves to make. Um, Computer likes h5 though. All right, so a3, just protecting the pawn some more. Okay, bishop goes back. All right, remember this bishop is doing nothing. All right, king f2. So Lasker goes, you moved your king, I'm going to get my king into the game as well. Rook a7, preparing this push. And now g4. This is protected, grabbing space. h4 can happen anytime now. Now we have h6. And now we have rook d3. I'm not quite sure about this move. Probably the intent is to swing around, but this is another example of all of your pieces are fine, right? They don't have to move. You don't have to do anything. So what do? You just improve your rook. And your rook is improved here because it has the ability to swing over now. Okay, there's the a5 that was prepared. Now h4, like I mentioned before. A takes, rook a e7. I'm not quite sure why he gave up the file. Yeah, I really have no idea why he gave up the file. But yeah, okay. He decided this was the best move. King f3. King is way more centralized than black's king. rook a g8, and now king a4. All right. So maybe you can't play g5 immediately because I think because of en passant. But if you do play g5 immediately, yeah, it just locks the position in, and then this rook is not going to do anything. Black decides to play g6, rook g3, g5. The king runs away. Knight b6. I don't know why he doesn't take this. Um, I really don't know why. Why can't you take this? Oh, just rook h3, and then you're doing this. Okay, obvious. If I think a little longer, I can find the answers. All right, knight b6. Okay, obviously you take h takes g5, rook h3. Okay, so you use this rook to take control of the open file because you'd like to move this rook to this side because this rook can't go here. There's too many pieces in the way. So this is just taking control of the two open files, which is devastating. This is so good. All right, rook d7, king g3, king e8, lot of king moves, rook dh1 doubling. Again, that bishop is doing absolutely nothing. e5. All right, I don't know why the pawn break was made. Maybe he was hoping takes and then this, or just takes and then you can have this fork. It's probably to get rid of this pawn so you can get this fork. All right, d takes. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. If you move the fork immediately, you're gonna run into this check and then lose this knight. So he's just making sure the knight is off of the line. Knight e5, and now we have this fork. Take the bishop. Of course, you're gonna take the rook. Takes the rook. Rook h7, taking control of the seventh rank. Okay, remember now, rooks like the seventh rank in open files. Rook f8, and now rook a1, and this is devastating. It's threatening check, threatening bishop, and then checkmate. So the only way to stop checkmate is going to be, well, you can probably play knight b6 threatening this, but Capablanca decide to play king d8, rook a8, bishop c8, and now knight c5, and it's, yeah, I don't know how you stop this position. Um, if let's say you attack the, yeah, and black resigned in this position. If you attack the rook, then you've got this check. This king can't do anything. You can't take here, so the king has to go here. And then you can't take here because this is protected, but you can make a fork now. And then after king d8, you can play rook b8 attacking the knight. And then if the knight doesn't want to run away, which, if it runs away, then it's checkmate. So how do you prevent checkmate? You can't move the king, you can't move the bishop. If you move the rook, the knight is checkmate. Computer likes rook h8, but then the computer likes this check again. And now queen e8, and now rook takes h8, king d7, rook check, and now king e8 because the king can't go anywhere. And now you can play knight d6 check again, and then it doesn't matter where the king goes. Let's say the king goes here, and now you can take this. Yeah, I mean it was such a game over position for black. I mean, so good, so good. I really enjoyed that game. Yeah, but it was solid. It was very solid up until here, right? Um, knight c8 was top 5 moves, but it was also the one that costs most of the points. The computer says to stay close to equal, you're gonna need to play c5 first. So after the move rook c8, white was basically ahead the entire game. So yeah, at the end of the day, chess is very, very, very difficult, and it's awesome that we have computers that we can say, oh, okay, I would still never find c5, but it's good to know, right? Maybe one day you're in a position like this, and then you can think back to this and be like, oh no, but I think maybe c5 is good in this position. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the games. I definitely did. Please remember to hit the link in the description to join our community at Mighty Networks. Regardless of your level at chess, if your elo is 0, if your elo is 2000, we have a chess coach that can help you with any questions you have. And I really hope you guys join us, because without you, we don't have a community. We're just a bunch of people who really, really love chess and want to share chess with you and have you share chess with us. Have a great week, guys, and I'll see you next week for Uzero Capablanca.